This is the #1 mistake air fryer owners make that leads to dry, tough, chewy, stringy meat. If you're just pressing those buttons with the presets or relying on a generic recipe time to tell you when dinner is ready, you're doing it wrong. The truth is, your air fryer has no idea how thick your chicken, your pork chop, your steak is. It's just setting a time, it's setting a temperature. It doesn't actually know when your food is done, and that's a gamble. Until now. Today, I'm gonna show you the strategy that I use to stop guessing and to start knowing when the food is cooked to perfection. I'm gonna show you how to do this while I make 2 meals that usually can go terribly wrong in the air fryer. And you'll want to stay to the end because I'm using a very specific baking technique to make a massive, fluffy showstopper that most people don't even realize they can make in their air fryer. If you're ready to stop gambling with your dinner, let's go. And the first recipe I'm going to show you is some pork chops. Now, is this a pork chop? No, this is a pork loin, and this saves a ton of money when you just buy a pork loin and you just cut it up yourself and make your very own pork chops. You get to decide how thick they are, and you are welcome. I just saved you some money. Now, what I'm going to teach you will apply to any pork chop recipe, but today I'm going to use the recipe that I use on page 120 in my cookbook. This is a marinade that I actually use for a pork tenderloin, which is different than a pork loin. It's a balsamic marinade, and it's fantastic. And I am cutting these nice and thick, which means they're going to taste amazing. And remember, if you don't need all of these, you can freeze some and save it for later. Now we're gonna make a marinade, and I'm gonna throw it right here in my plastic bag and just add all of these ingredients. 3 tablespoons balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons brown sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Close up the bag, give it a good old shake, and now you're gonna throw the pork chops in there, close it up, flip it around to make sure all the pork chops are coated, pop it in the fridge, and let it marinate for at least 30 minutes, no longer than overnight. I'm gonna save these for another night, and now our pork chops are ready. I am gonna go ahead and preheat this air fryer 400 for 4 minutes. Preheat is done. And for now, I'm only gonna cook up 1 of these. I'm gonna save the rest for dinner tonight. And pop it right here in the center. And now I'm gonna use this. What's this, you ask? This is a built-in wireless meat thermometer. It stores so nicely right on top of the air fryer in this little casing. And I'm just gonna get my big fat pork chop here, and I'm gonna push this thermometer right through the center, the thickest part of the pork chop. And I wanna make sure that I have it up to the line here. That's the safety line. So now with this is gonna tell me when it's done. That little guy takes all of the guesswork out of air frying. So now I've got all of these different presets I can scroll through. You can see which word is illuminated. There's pork, medium done, target 145. Current temperature of that pork is 55 degrees. Then I can say I'm just gonna air fry at 380, and I'm gonna hit my play button, and it's gonna just cook. While we're here and we have a few minutes, let me just tell you why I like the Typhur sink so much. And I want you to know that they are today's video sponsor, and I love the Typhur sink air fryer. Of course, as I'm showing you today, it takes all of the guesswork out of cooking anything. I love that it's ceramic coated, not Teflon coated. I love the nice large 10 by 10 basket. I'm gonna show you how to utilize that here in just a minute. And I love that Typhur is just staying ahead of the tech. They are ahead of the game, and I'm honestly just really excited to see what are they gonna come out with next, because this is totally up-leveling the air frying game. I've got a special discount code depending on when you're watching this. It's down in the description box. But I'm just gonna sit here and maybe read a book while I sit and wait for this to finish cooking. I'm not gonna clean the kitchen. No. Here we are, it's at 1:40. I'm gonna show you how you can manually change your target time. I'm gonna let it stay here at 1:40. I'm gonna stop, and it's gonna finish cooking. So good. We're just gonna let it sit here, and we'll watch that temperature rise. There, it just alerted me it was done, even though it was not running. Let's go, time to taste test. Pull out that thermometer. Oh, perfect. Perfect, juicy pork chop. Oh, come have a bite.
Yummy.
And that is perfect pork. Perfect pork chop. 5 stars?
Yeah, that's easy, 5 stars.
Now, if that wasn't amazing, wait till you see this. We're gonna make all-in-one meatloaf and potato at the same time. Check out these tricks. We are gonna par-bake the potatoes in the microwave. So go ahead and give them a nice little bath first, pat them dry, poke them with a fork, and then pop them right in your microwave. And I'm gonna cook them for about 4 to 5 minutes on high. I do have a tasty meatloaf recipe here on page 45 of my original cookbook, but I don't have all of those ingredients. So I was like, oh, I'll do those barbecue meatballs and turn it into meatloaf. I also don't have all of those ingredients. So I'm just gonna kind of wing it, just like my mama did. So first I'm gonna throw a 1/2 cup of oats in my bowl, and I'm gonna soak them in about a 1/3 cup of milk for a few minutes. I'm gonna throw in about a tablespoon of Worcester sauce, a teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, about a tablespoon of dried parsley, a little squirt of mustard, an even bigger squirt of ketchup, 1 egg, and I'm gonna take about a 1/2 onion and dice it up. Now, we all know onions are key for flavor, and if you have someone in your home that hates onions, you wanna just dice these up nice and small. They'll never know. And that little 1/2 onion is probably gonna be more like 1 cup of onions. Dump it in. And I could just mix up all of these seasonings. That looks absolutely terrible. So it must be time to add in a pound of ground beef. And at this point, I just throw my gloves on and we just squish it all together. Or if you were raised in the 80s, your mom did it with her bare hands, right? Am I right? What year did your mom make you meatloaf? Tell me in the comments below. How did she do it? And did you like it or not? Okay, I feel like we've got this all combined pretty good. Now comes the fun part. To make cleanup a breeze, I've got my brand new 9-inch air fryer liners here that fit perfectly in this 8-quart air fryer. And this Typher sink is also magnetic. So you can use these little guys here to hold the parchment paper down. That way it won't blow up around your food. I've got my 2 par-cooked potatoes here. I'm gonna place them on 1/2 of the air fryer basket. And trust me on this one, they're absolutely amazing when you spray with oil and put some salt on top. Like, you won't even believe it. Now we're gonna turn this big old blob of meat into a loaf. And you have a couple options here. You could do 2 small ones, you could do 4 smaller, or do 1 big loaf. The key is uniform size. Since we don't have like a loaf pan, we're just gonna shape it. Shape it into a rectangle that's nice and even. Does that look good? And now for the secret weapon, the wireless thermometer. It stores so nicely right here. We're gonna pop it out. Then I'm gonna come take this little probe and just squish it right here into the middle of my meatloaf, making sure that little line is covered. And we are good to go. Now we're gonna close it up. So on this Typher sink air fryer, we're using the thermometer function, and it has all these cool presets, but I can also just go with my manual. Because I'm doing ground beef, I want to cook up to about 160. You can see the current temperature that's there. And then I'm actually gonna hit the air fry button. You can see I've got my target temperature, and then I wanna cook it at 380. So if you don't have this amazing air fryer, you're probably gonna run it for about 15 minutes and then check the internal temperature and add on. The other nice thing, if you want to use the app, you can kind of see once it hits a certain temperature, it'll tell you the remaining time, so that's super cool. Of course, it's totally optional, but you can control everything right here from the app, so you could literally sit on your couch and just cook. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna make this delicious glaze. It goes with these meatballs. It's amazing. You start with a cup of ketchup and throw in a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Now this is gonna make extra sauce for dipping, so you could totally cut this in half if you don't want extra sauce. A 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, then some liquid smoke. Now if you don't have this, you can sub this out with a 1/2 teaspoon of Worcester and a teaspoon of malt vinegar if you have that. Otherwise you just need a 1/4 teaspoon of liquid smoke, and I did too much, oops. And then we throw in about 2 tablespoons of chopped onion and give that a stir. And you can see we're hitting about 100 degrees. When it gets up here at about 120, I'm gonna put the glaze on top. Also on page 45, I've got a different glaze recipe if you want to screenshot this one and use this one instead. A little bit less sugar. Or you could just snag my cookbook because there's 150 more recipes in here. Here we are at 120 internal, little toasty there. I'm gonna just spread some of this glaze right on top. And I bet my potatoes are about done. Well, they could use a little bit more time. So I'll just rotate those, let those finish up. Now you're gonna see, even when this was off, the meat was still cooking. It's up to 124 now. So that's actually proof about carryover cooking, that when the unit stops, the food is still cooking. So we can actually change our target. Let's see if I can do it from here. Yep, I'm gonna lower it by about 5 degrees because it's gonna finish up on its own while it rests. And you can see we are right on track because we want to throw that glaze on the last 6 to 10 minutes. And according to the app, it's gonna be done in about 9 minutes. Time's up. We're gonna just let it rest. Oh, love that char from the glaze. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I'm just gonna put it back in here and let it rest so that temperature rises. Here we go, 3 minutes later, temperature on par. Just gonna pop these magnets off, they're a little warm. Take the potatoes out, and this is the super exciting part. And just pull the parchment paper out. Meatloaf and clean air fryer basket. And I'm just gonna use a paper towel, pull that out, and it's time to enjoy. Perfectly cooked meatloaf, ooh la la. Oh, and if you want leftovers, you could make a meatloaf sandwich. Have you done that before?
I'm gonna try these now. That is good. That is really good. That is so good.
Woo! And just want to note that I came home after the kids were alone with the food, and this is what happened. It was demolished. And about that bonus recipe, what happens when we put all that in the air fryer? Well, first we gotta throw it in here. First you need 4 large eggs and 2/3 cup of milk, and then blend it up. I love to use my immersion blender. Then add in 2/3 cup of flour, blend that up, and then stir in 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla and a pinch of salt. Any guesses as to what this is yet? Drop a comment down below. I'm curious if you figured it out. And because this basket is so nice and big, it's 10 by 10. So what I did was I took a traditional recipe and I sized it down to work in a 10 by 10. Essentially, instead of 6 eggs in a 9 by 13, we're using 4 eggs and sizing everything down. Next step, about 3 tablespoons of butter. Took the grate out, and I'm gonna put it right here in the bottom, and then come and see what's next. This is gonna go in the air fryer just like that, and I'm gonna preheat it up to 400 for about 4 minutes. Traditionally, this is a dish you make in the oven and you melt the butter in the oven. It usually takes 10 to 15 minutes to preheat. Already, air fryer saving me time. Preheat is done. Butter is melted. Coat that everywhere. And since this is a nice ceramic coated non-stick pan, I'm gonna do this right in the air fryer. Check that out. Have you figured it out yet? It's German pancakes, hootenannies, Dutch babies, whatever you want to call it. We're air frying it right now. 375, about 12 minutes, boom. That's right, that's how long it takes to just preheat my oven. And then I gotta go about 20 minutes, saving so much time with the air fryer. I love it. The moment of truth. Oh yes, mama, right there. German pancake, all fluffy, ready to go. Now you just get your little silicone tool here, cut right through it. Oh, this is perfection. Then we just lift it right out. Plate your hootenanny, plate your German pancake. Oh boy, so delicious. And then look at that, can you see? Like I could just wipe that out with a paper towel and it's totally clean. Yes! And if you're like, Cathy, but we want more than one batch, you just cook up the second batch while you're eating the first. Easy peasy. This is the perfect time to grab the Typer Sink because I have a coupon code for you down in the description box below. Check it out or click right here. And if you want to see me using the Typer Sink more, see my unboxing, my review, I cook a whole chicken and french fries in this video and I teach you all about how it works. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next video.